All right, we're doing a reflection on experiencing a faith gathering outside of my own and the interview with the faith leader. Um, so, with regards to my experience attending a faith service outside of my own faith, was I went to a Catholic Mass, which I attended Catholic high school, so I'm connected with Catholicism, and it's a familiar thing to me, kind of growing up culturally, kind of closer to Catholicism. But one interesting point was kind of how I felt like this mass was less traditional than others I attended, especially when I was in high school. It's a bit less somber, a little bit more upbeat, um, and it made me realize how, even though I don't consider myself a religious Catholic or a Christian at all, Catholicism is still really a part of my identity. So it's kind of funny to feel kind of protective or to feel surprised or to have an expectation over my idea of how a mass should go, even though I'm not Catholic. Maybe should isn't the right word, but a kind of like surprise about how something is different, right? And feeling some sort of connection with that. What stood out to me with my interview was with regards to common mental health concerns, was seeing a lot of people who are older, kind of within the Quaker community, the meeting house, and lots of things of dealing with grief, despair, depression, challenges related to death, either for themselves, loved ones, and just a general sense of anxiety, I think, around the state of the world and lack of empathy and lack of compassion. I think there's a really big fear and a feeling of emptiness and um, big challenge and sadness around watching people treat each other without compassion and without a sense of peace and nonviolence. At the Quaker meeting, I was also interested in how the member I was talking to and interviewed specifically referenced Jung, um, and how many Quakers he knows are influenced by Jungian psychology. Which is just an anecdote. It's not meant to be a declarative statement on Quakers or Quakerism, but it really made me kind of think about how the ways that different counseling theories and interventions may be more or less compatible with specific spiritual or religious beliefs or within specific faith communities. Um, yeah, it's just a really cool concept and something I'll definitely kind of keep digging into and thinking about as I see more clients. I also think the way that the insights that I really took away that's relevant to my work is I think it prompted me to examine the ways in which I share my personal beliefs and how I enter into that conversation. I feel super open and assured most of the time diving in to topics regarding spirituality and religion, and I really like that about myself in my general life, but I also want to make sure I keep in mind the ways I express that openness and curiosity in the counseling room. For one, to not make it about myself, but two, to also just um, to let the client kind of guide how much weight, what is the, how sensitive is this to them, and how do they want to approach it. And then in terms of reflections on how to monitor countertransference and bias, for one, I think trying to stay entirely present and staying sharp with that non-judgmental listening cycle has been super important in providing counseling on issues regarding spirituality and religion. Um, I wouldn't say I find it any more or less difficult than some other sensitive topics or highly personal topics. Um, in fact, I think I feel pretty. Um, I I relish those opportunities a lot. I really enjoy and feel very privileged to be able to kind of have those conversations, and I don't feel a sense of strong countertransference or big sense of bias around it. I really do feel a lot of just curiosity around people's experiences. That's so far what I've had. So I think grounding people's faith with also within concepts of values has been really helpful for me. It can be really a big help to describe the ways that someone's faith matters to them using some different words can kind of be really connecting. So it's not always just talking about faith and our relationship with God. We can talk about concepts like devotion, conviction, humility, being humble, doing the right thing, justice, love, peace, understanding, um, discipline. Can be so many different things. And I know also with the book talking about religion as a just a protective factor and a coping skill, something that really can be so helpful for people. And I've just seen that express already in so many different ways. Counseling at the Bushnell Clinic that I, as an intern there, that I just I really appreciate that. And it's been really useful for me to kind of people who have strong faith convictions to bring that into the counseling room for them, even if I don't belong to their faith, right? I can really kind of it's been a really helpful tool to kind of bring in and show them to help them utilize that as a coping skill and as a protective factor as they kind of navigate the world. Thanks so much.